YouTube is adding community notes to its platform, very similar to X. So today we're going to take a look at what do the notes look like, who can actually write them, and what YouTube considers to be a high quality note, and how will these be rated moving forward. So we have our tortoises, and someone has not been truthful about the history of tortoises, apparently. I don't know. This is a mock-up. But you see the viewers added a note. There seems to be a link of contextualization, and notes are published when rated as helpful. So that is apparently the rating that needs to be taking place for it to be added. We'll look a little bit more at the rating here in a second. So let's hop back into this webpage. And so perhaps you're wondering the question that many are wondering, who gets to do this? Who gets to write and rate the notes? So right now it's limited to the US in English on mobile. So let's just start with that contextualization. If you think you're gonna see this on desktop, you're not yet. And if you're not in the US, you're not getting this feature. So the eligibility criteria is that you have an active YouTube channel in good standing with the community guidelines, but you cannot have access to this unless you receive an invite via email or the Creator Studio. So this isn't just like, oh, I'm not in good standing, why do I have this? This is very limited at this moment in time. It's a feature that they're testing, and as they do with most of their testing features, it is available on mobile as of right now. Now, how is it getting rated? Well, it seems first off to be a rating of 3 degrees, and I have those down here. How does the rating work? It is helpful, somewhat helpful, and unhelpful. So imagine a Reddit thread where you have the upvote, downvote, and then there's some kind of like neutral vote in between. And based off that mock-up, maybe the helpful is the one that gets published. So that's one thing I do want to call out, just based off my reading, is that there's no guarantee that just because you make a note that it gets published. It's that it's going to get rated first. And who's doing that rating? Right now, it's third-party evaluators. These people are utilized on a variety of other tools on YouTube. And eventually, I think when they get to a place where they feel comfortable for the community to take participation in these ratings, that will change it, very similar to X. But right now, it is through third-party evaluators. So that is the general gist of this tool. There's not a lot right now that we know outside of it's coming, it's experimental. They're acknowledging that there's probably going to be some errant notes, but it makes sense because they're already having flags for altered or synthetic content. They've already been adding information panels. You see here the links to these. And so this is just another way in you know, if I could come up for air before we talk about what YouTube considers to make a great note. We live in a world where it's very easy to mislead. I'm not here to get into debate misinformation. That's not the point. The point is we live in a world where it's very easy to mislead, and AI is only further enabling that. And so we could put more tools in place like X has, regardless of how you feel about X. It has helped quickly identify when something is misleading or complete, like a footage from a different situation that they're saying, oh, this is happening here in Detroit, Michigan. So I think this is a valuable tool to have in YouTube because of AI, because of, you know, we're heading into a political season. We want information that's accurate, and we want people to be informed because not all of us do our due diligence when we're learning. And these are ways to maybe have some people do that for you and help you maybe not get bamboozled, or even just think, you know, not even just political or information about a turtle. Think about like all those courses or these, you know, these pyramid scheme, make money quick schemes. I think this would also be a way to weed that stuff out as well, which I'm excited about. You know, it's the tool's only as good as the community is and the vigor of the community. Right now, the community is it's not totally us as it is more third-party evaluators, but I am interested to see where this goes. Now, as I said, anytime that there's a new feature on YouTube, they typically have what's a supportgoogle.com page on it. And so I have found their write notes on videos page. And as you see, you can have that. It's only available in the United States in English. So if you're going to write one, you would have this ability to click add note. You have to accept the invite before getting to do so. Then you'll write your note in the text box. And then, as I mentioned earlier, if your note is published, which means there's no guarantee of this, it will be anonymous. So no notoriety from your notes, just for the truth, for clarity, for correct information, which I think is valuable. And there's some writing tips, as there always is. Call them best practices. I think they're just, no-brainers. Like, okay, if you're going to write this, here's some things that you need to think about. First and foremost, if you're able to cite a source, it's going to support the note's claim. Anybody can say anything. I know anyone can technically make a source, but, the more sources that are echoing the sentiment and the information objectively are only going to be additive to the note. Use language that's easy to understand. Talk at a level that anybody could read. All right, it doesn't need to be spoon-fed, but if you're talking at the highest academic rigor that you can possibly postulate, it's probably not going to be as helpful. It's probably going to be somewhat helpful. It might not even get published. Use neutral language. This one's important, probably hard to do entirely, especially when it comes to more inflammatory topics, but avoid expressing opinion. The point of this is information, accuracy, not your opinion. We all have ideologies. We all have things that we believe, and it's your prerogative to have the ability to do so. That's not what this feature is for. It's to objectively say, hey, that video is from 2003 and you're acting like it happened a week ago. Or you're saying this course will help you do this, but actually this course has none of these features. Those are the kind of things that needs to be not a, well, I really think tortoises shouldn't be in the, I don't know. I can't even think of an opinion, but that's the point. Offer important context that isn't readily available in the video description or title. Okay, so the video is making a claim, the title's making a claim, the description is making a claim, and that context is readily available in the video. That's where the notes are for, and then underneath that, directly address a claim made in the video title. Okay, so it wants you to be specific. I don't think it's saying that there's a general sentiment of the entirety of the video versus a specific thing that's been stated that you are directly making a note on. Once again, this is a tool that I believe is going to help better our content on YouTube, hold us to a higher standard, let our community be vigilant and make sure that it's not being taken advantage of for misinformation. So very pro this tool. I'm excited to see how it goes. I envision it being a tad bumpy at the get-go, but if you get this tool, the add notes tool, let me know. I'd love to, A, I would love to just see it, but B, let me know how it works. If your note does get published, would love to know about that. Let me know what you think about this tool, if this is a good thing for YouTube, in the comments below. And as always, happy creating, and I will see you guys later.